On this latest installment of Loudbeard Sports, you will listen to NBA talk, some stuff about the Super Bowl, and the Winter Olympics. Listen and enjoy.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
And welcome back. You are listening to Loudbeard Sports. I am your host, Loudbeard, and as always, with me is a cold bottle of beer. That's right, me, beer, Loudbeard, host Kyle Sanders, and a bottle of beer is going to bring you the best show on all of the interweb. I do not have my co-host today, Dee Dee. She's taking the night off. She's kind of a slacker, and when I say kind of a slacker, I mean she is a full-tilt slacker. Slacks about everything. Slacks about school, slacks about soccer, slacks about everything. But one thing that is not being slacked on tonight, and that is a top 5. Loudbeard always likes to bring his guests a top 5. So today's top 5, the top 5 worst NBA draft picks of all time. Number 5, Anthony Bennett. Number 4, Orlando Magic legend Fran Vasquez. Number 3, Darko Milicic. Number 2, Greg Oden. And number 1, Sam Bowie. All right, those are our top 5. The reason I talked about these top 5s is because I read an article today when I was reading up on some of my research of some of my sports, getting ready for the show, about how Greg Oden is trying to make a comeback. Man, Greg Oden is a very sad story. It's one that takes me back to my younger years, analyzing NBA basketball, and I thought to myself, man, this 7'4" giant out of the Ohio State Buckeyes basketball program is going to be a great player. There's no way this scrawny, skinny nobody named Kevin Durant is going to be better than Greg Oden. There's just no way. But here we come, years and years later, and Kevin Durant is the best player, arguably, probably second best, maybe third best player on the planet. And Greg Oden has had surgeries after surgeries, microfracture knee surgeries, all kinds of craziness, and he has not been able to get on the court. But he's coming back. That's right. Greg Oden is back. He's trying to make another comeback into the NBA, and I wish him the best of luck because you hate to see that. Because you look at Greg Oden and you look at the Portland Trailblazers, they are on here in the top 2 spots. Yes, they picked Sam Bowie number 2 overall in the same exact draft as Michael Jordan. And then they picked Greg Oden number 1 overall in the same exact draft right before Kevin Durant. These are bad draft picks. But you know what? We're getting a little too serious, and I don't like to get serious, so I've decided to pop in another top 5, and this top 5 is going to be a little less dramatic. That's right. Top 5 things that are terrible to get your wife, significant other, girlfriend, or whatever you call them for Valentine's Day. That's right, Wednesday is Valentine's Day, and we have lots of great gifts to give out there, but some of these gifts are not so good. Number 5, the breakup. That's right, you can give the old breakup on Valentine's Day. That's a terrible gift to give. It's one of the worst. Number 4, a toilet seat. I don't know if anybody's actually ever given one of these, but it would be an absolute terrible gift. Number 3, a scale. Yeah, that's right. Give a scale. See what happens. See if you still have your front teeth. Number 2, fast food. That's right. Big date night. Taking them out. Getting some Mickey D's. And number 1 is a gas grill. That's right. If you buy your wife a gift that you really just wanted for yourself for Valentine's Day, expect to be sleeping on the couch tonight or every night forever. All right, so now that we got the Valentine's Day shenanigans out of the way, for Valentine's Day, the Scout Team Sports guys, they always do a Wednesday live show. I'm part of those guys. I am part of the Scout Team Sports show, and we are not going to go live. We're going to do a best of show on Wednesday night because it is Valentine's Day. We do have wives, and we want to stay married, so we're going to go ahead and play it off that way. But you can listen to me, Loudbeard. This is a show on a Monday night. And you know, I'm one of those MFers. You know, those guys that work Monday through Friday. And when I enjoy the weekend and I go and have a good time on the weekend, when Monday comes, it is not a good feeling. And I know this is kind of old news. All of you other MFers out there, you know that Mondays are the worst possible day of the week. You know that there is absolutely nothing good about a Monday unless you love your job so freaking much that you don't even care. You just want to be there on a Monday. And I've never met anybody like you, but good for you, MFer out there that loves their job. But it's a Monday, and Loudbeard always records his shows Monday nights, and they air Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m. on the 12ouncesportsradio.com network. 12ouncesportsradio.com. Those guys over there, Jeff Beck and the guys, the regulars, they do a fantastic job out over there at 12 Ounce Sports Radio. We also upload the Loudbeard Sports Podcast to iTunes, and you can always check it out on our website at scoutteamradio.com. Now, that's enough shameless plugging for me for now. I'm sure I will shameless plug a little bit later. Like, hit me up at Loudbeard Sports on Twitter. Or hit me up at Loudbeard Sports on Instagram. Or hit me up at Kyle Scout Team on Twitter. I'll keep it going all night long. We'll keep it rolling. So we did a top 5 about worst NBA draft picks. You know, now that the NFL is over, and it was very hard this Sunday not having any football. It was really, really hard. Now, we have the Olympics to kind of help in the interim. We have NBA, which is kind of heating up a little bit. So there's a few things going on in the NBA. You got Greg Oden trying to make a comeback, which I don't really think is going to happen. But I wish him the best because it is kind of a tragic story. Though the dude's made millions, can't complain about that. But he never really saw the career that he could have possibly had. He could have been a legend like a Hakeem Olajuwon or like a Patrick Ewing. He could have been one of those guys, but he is never going to be that guy because of injuries. He is a modern-day Sam Bowie. He really is. Now, the NBA is heating up right before the All-Star break. We have a few things going on that are pretty cool. So the Cleveland Cavaliers know that they are basically on their last leg of this LeBron run, and they went ahead and did the old fire sale. Let's go ahead and get rid of everybody but LeBron and get in a bunch of other players, and hopefully we just shuffle the deck, see what works, and maybe, just maybe, we can come out with a team that can make a run deep into the playoffs. Maybe, just maybe, this team can come together with different pieces and LeBron and be a winning team. So far, so good. 3 straight wins, right? Cleveland, go ahead. You're doing the right thing over there. Maybe it's just because there's a little extra excitement. Maybe LeBron's getting into it a little bit more. Maybe some of these pieces are going to be the right pieces to fit into LeBron's plans, but it was a total overhaul. Let's see what happens. It's still LeBron's show. He's going to have to be the guy that carries this team. He's going to have to be the one that can take them to the promised land, even though, believe land, you had your one championship, and that is all you are going to get. That's all I've got to say about Cleveland. There is a team in the Great North, a team in Toronto, and right now, because we are in the Winter Olympics, I don't want to hype up Toronto too much because They are our arch nemesis. When you look at hockey, when you look at all of these Winter Olympics, Canada has become our Winter Olympic arch nemesis. Them and Germany and North Korea for other reasons, and Norway, and I don't know, pretty much anybody. We're taking on the world. We're going to say everybody's our arch nemesis just because that's what we do. We're Americans. But I'm saying this because Toronto is having a great year in the NBA. Right now, as we speak, the Toronto Raptors, our friends of the North, are on a 5-game winning streak, and they are the leader in the East. They have jumped ahead of Boston. So good stuff going on over there. Of course, they got their 2 superstars, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. They are just doing their thing. They do what they always do, and that is win regular season games. The only problem with these 2 dudes is I don't know if I trust them in the playoffs. You want to see Toronto do well. You want to see them have a strong playoff push. They're going to have a tough battle because they're going to probably need to go through either Boston or Cleveland or both. They might even have to go through Boston and Cleveland. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But both DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry have struggled the last couple years in the playoffs, and the Toronto Raptors have been a little disappointing. I know a lot of Raptors fans out there are thinking, you're right, Loudbeard. You're right. And I know I'm right because they have been disappointing. You want your 2 superstars to carry your team to be the shining stars that lead you to that true north. And those guys just haven't done it yet. In Boston's looking okay. They're still doing their thing. Now, they did drop to second place, but, you got Kyrie Irving. That's a good team. I can't say too much about them. Now, over in the West, we got a few things going on over there. Number 1, Golden State is still the number 1 team. Yes, Golden State is still the number 1 team, but not for long. That's right. The Houston Rockets are right on their tail. They are only a half game behind of that lead in the West, and that's because they have won 8 straight games. That's right. The Houston Rockets are on fire. And it is bold prediction time. Bold prediction time from Loudbeard. That's right. I've got to give a Loudbeard bold prediction. And that bold prediction going on right now, today, Monday night, is the Houston Rockets will defeat the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals and will be the champions of the world, of the NBA world this year. That's right, I'm riding real high on these Houston Rockets. I'm riding them all the way to the promised land. I like the guy, the beard. He is my guy because he has a beard. I'm Loudbeard. We're kind of like brothers in kind of a weird, beardy kind of way. I also like Chris Paul. I think he is an underrated superstar. He has had some of those playoff issues like we've had with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. But generally speaking, this guy is a superstar, and he should be treated like a superstar, and he's going to help James Harden dethrone the Golden State Warriors. What else we got going on in the East? That's right, we got the Young Guns in Minnesota. Minnesota. That's right, listen up. We are talking about Minnesota being a good NBA team. I can't believe I'm actually talking about that because they have not been good in a very long time. But this year, they have a fantastic team. They have that 3-headed monster. And these are all young dudes, man. These guys got a lot of good basketball ahead of them. But you've got Jimmy Butler. You've got Karl Anthony Towns. You've got Andrew Wiggins. You've got 3 dudes that are superstars, and these guys are just young and getting better and better and better. Right now, Minnesota is just tearing it up. I think they're sitting at the 4th seed, which is awesome for them. Good for you, Minnesota. Ever since Kevin Garnett left, I've been pulling for you. Now, they have brought in Tom Thibodeau as their coach. They did last year. And Thibs has got these guys playing defense like no other, and that is his MO. That's what he does to these NBA basketball teams. This is why he was so successful in Chicago. This is why he brought Jimmy Butler in, because he needed a guy that plays defense, that knows what he's doing, that can take their team and make them better, and that's what he did when he brought in Jimmy Butler. And he is now developing guys like Karl Anthony Towns on the defensive end is just getting better and better under the advice and tutelage of Tom Thibodeau. Now, last team I want to talk about real quick here. Actually, no, I got two more teams. You got to deal with it. I'm going NBA, balls out right now. It's all NBA. Ballin'. That's right, Oklahoma City, OKC, they're back. I mean, they were out of the playoff hunt early in the season. They didn't look like they were a very good team. They struggled, and they struggled mightily. But they have decided to ride the back of Russell Westbrook, and now they are back up to that 5th seed in the West, and they're going to make some noise when the playoff time comes around. You got Paul George, who's getting back into all-star form. I thought he was kind of struggling early in the year. I thought he wasn't carrying his weight, but now Russell Westbrook's carrying the team, and Paul George is just such a good compliment. And, you still got Carmelo over there, which the Carmelo thing, he hasn't been that good the last couple years. He's the same guy that he's always been, so he may not have been the best choice for OKC, but Paul George and Russell Westbrook, man, that's a good duo right there. This is going to be a tough team. Now, I do have one team that is sitting outside of the playoffs that I want to mention, especially there in the West. This is a tough Western Conference. You've got the Golden State Warriors. You've got the Houston Rockets. You've got competition from all different directions. But you got Utah. That's right. You lose arguably your best player, Gordon Hayward, in the offseason. He goes over to the Boston Celtics. And what do you get back? You don't get anything back because you're Utah. You don't get free agents. But there's somebody over there that is a gem, a guy that is a diamond in the rough. And this guy would probably be on the national spotlight a lot more if he wasn't injured so much, and that is Rudy Gobert. This guy, he is possibly the best defensive player in all of the NBA, possibly one of the best rebounders in the NBA, possibly a dynamic offensive weapon. And when I say possibly, that means he is. And you know why I say that? Because he's carrying a team, the Utah Jazz, that doesn't have a ton of talent, and he's taken them to 9 straight wins. And guess what? They're barely out of that 8th seed. They're going into the All-Star break hot. So good for you, Utah Jazz. I love to see some of these underdogs go in there and make some noise. Knock out somebody like the New Orleans Pelicans. Knock out somebody like that. That's what I want to see. Now, next on Loudbeard Sports, you have your Olympic update. That's right, it is time to really be proud to be an American, to really bleed the red, the white, and the blue, and be as patriotic as possible all the time, every day. Patriotism, America. Now, with that being said, we are not leading in the gold medals right now. We are not leading in total medals. We are not leading in any of those because of these northerner cold weather countries that are just kind of taking it to us right now. That does not mean that we're not going to make a comeback. That does not mean that my American pride has been soiled. It means that now we can make a comeback again and again and again and come back and win. So right now, Norway has a total of 9 medals. Germany, the Netherlands, Canada, they're all with 7 total medals. And the U.S. is sitting at 5. So we're not too far behind. And we've got 3 gold medals. That's right. God bless you, America. 3 gold medals. We love you. Now you got Red Gerard and Jamie Anderson. These are male and female snowboarders taking golds in the slope style. Like to see that. Go America. You got Maren Lundby. She wins the gold for the normal hill ski jump. Because you can't just have a normal hill. You have to have a normal hill, a big hill, a small hill, a little hill, a left hill, a right hill. But in the normal hill event of ski jumping, Maren Lundby takes the medal for America. Now, we've got a couple silvers and a couple bronzes, and by a couple, I mean one of each, which doesn't make any sense the way I said it. Chris Mazzer, he wins a silver in the luge, which is a fun event, right? Becoming the first American male to medal in this event. This is like when, Jamaica had a bobsled team. America and luging is not really known to be things that are synonymous with each other. But if Jamaica can have a world record bobsled team, that means America can have a silver medal luger. And then the U.S., we also win the bronze in the mixed figure skating. And this one I really like because you got Mira Nagasu. That's right, Mira Nagasu, becoming the first American woman to win. Well, she didn't win. She got a bronze medal. She's not the first to do that. But she was the first American to do the triple axel. That's right. In an Olympic event, she was the first American woman to land the triple axel. So congratulations to you. Hell of a feat. And the other part of this that I love, and this is probably my best and favorite part of this story, and that is we took the spotlight away from Canada as the gold medalist and Russia as the silver medalist because of our superstar nailing the triple axel in her routine. As I mentioned at the beginning, I do have a good partner with me today, and that is a bottle of beer. As last week I had an Adirondack IPA, this week I have the same, but last week I had something a little bit different. This week I have the Iroquois Pale Ale. This is a big American India Pale Ale. That's right, a big American IPA. The only way I will drink a beer is if it's a big American beer and I can talk about big American sports like the Winter Olympics, and I can sit here and bleed red, white, and blue and be big America myself. And that's how Loudbeard rolls. And that's the beer I'm drinking, and it is magically delicious, just like a Lucky Charms. Basically, the Lucky Charms of beers. So I know you were all thinking, okay, he had a great coverage of the Winter Olympics. He had great coverage of the NBA. What else will Loudbeard talk about on his show today? What else will be the highlight of his show? And I know the last thing on your mind is baseball. That's right, baseball. We're in the off season. We're doing what we've got to do here. And I like when a big story comes up about baseball. And this is it. We all need a little bit more baseball in our lives. It's been a little bit of a quiet off season. The teams are doing it a little bit differently than normal. So you got a lot of these small market teams that don't feel like they're going to be super competitive. And they start almost like tanking. They're all trying to follow the Houston Astros and the Chicago Cubs and get a lot of early young draft picks. This is the same process that the 76ers were following. And all these guys, they don't want to spend money on big-time free agents because they don't want to win. You got these teams that just don't want to win. So now, a lot of these free agents aren't getting these huge salaries except for the big-time guys. And, it's just bad news for baseball. There's nothing cool going on in the media cycle right now. We're not really able to get into anything. Unless there is a big story of somebody getting into trouble. Do you think there could be a story out there of somebody with 44 pounds of cocaine? Maybe a former All-Star. Maybe a former runner-up to the Cy Young Award. Yes, there is. Esteban Loaiza. He has made $40 million plus in his career playing Major League Baseball, and he got caught with approximately $500,000 worth of cocaine. That's right, 44 pounds, 20 kilos. Great story. Proud of you, Major League Baseball dude. You're doing what you should be doing, and that's creating some stories when there's nothing else to talk about. It's like the UCF of baseball right here. Danny White, killing it. He probably planted it just to get some extra news for baseball. No, I made that up. Don't take that. I'll be all over the news tomorrow. Please. I apologize, Danny White. You're the man. So we got the baby face and the beard. And we need to highlight each of these because I think both of them are very important. So I'm going to start out with the baby face. The baby face of the week is going to be the XFL. That's right, I can't let it go away. We need to keep talking about it. Because we are going to bring a team back to the City Beautiful, back to Orlando. Loudbeard, Kyle Sanders, myself, the host of Loudbeard Sports, and co-host of the wildly popular Scout Team Sports, is the official, unofficial, official voice of the XFL. That's right. Loudbeard is the official, unofficial, official voice of the XFL in Orlando. And I am bringing along with me the other Scout Team Sports guys, both Anthony Mack and Chris America. And we are going to rule the XFL in Orlando. We're going to cover it. We're going to talk about it. And it is going to be glorious. Because that is how we roll. Now, I have to have a very special beard today. And that is a good friend of mine. Not really, but he has a beard. And that makes him a friend of mine because everybody with a beard is a friend. And our beard of the week is Jason Kelce. And I don't really have anything else to say about that other than his speech was so epic. It was one of the best speeches I have ever heard. He brought such a glorious ending to what was such a glorious season, which was a Cinderella story that only Philadelphia fans could appreciate. A season, a Super Bowl win, a parade, and a speech, which all were record-breaking, which all were amazing, which all were some of the best I've ever seen. So to you, Jason Kelce, for your amazing speech, for your amazing year, for your amazing career, and everything that you have done for all the beards out there, I want to say, I thank you, sir, and you keep up the good work. And now it's time for Loudbeard to come up with a finale of his show. And I have a special treat for all of you fans. You know what's coming next. And it's exactly what you think it is.
Dad jokes in the middle of the street. Dad jokes in the paint aisle of Home Depot. Dad jokes in the garden section of Lowe's. Dad jokes. Yeah.
Woo, DD. You
Hey.
made it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you on board. This is awesome.
Yeah, I decided I could schedule this into my very busy life.
Well, I'm glad you scheduled a little bit of time for us.
Yes. So I'm just going to continue with my dad jokes, if you'll allow me to.
Go for it.
Number 1. What does the orthodontist say to his patient when he's about to go into surgery?
I don't know. What does he?
Brace yourself.
Good one, DD.
Number 2. Why does the refrigerator have eye drops?
I don't know. Why does it?
The refrigerator has dry ice.
I did the laughter one because I felt like I had to, but it wasn't that funny.
It was hilarious. Number 3. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl use the bathroom?
I don't know. Why?
Because the P is silent.
I actually really like that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That was your best one so far.
Heck yeah.
All right, Dee Dee, thank you again for your dad jokes, and I want to thank again all the listeners out there for always checking us out and supporting Loudbeard Sports. So this scout is
Out.